Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. I've got a great technique for you today, and it starts with a technique you may have seen, but I'm going to build on it, and I'm really excited about how it's been turning out. I've got some great projects to share, so I'm going to start with this card. This is the masking tape technique. You may have seen this. It's been pretty popular for a while. It's not new or anything, but of course I had to do my take on it, and of course I loved what I came up with, so I hope you will too. So I am starting with this card. I shamelessly cased this from a demonstrator that I know named Claudia Perry. She's from Australia, I think. I hope. Ooh, sorry, Claudia, if I get that wrong. Anyway, it uses a great stamp set that is actually being discontinued, which kind of bums me out because it is a really nice set. It is called By the Tide, and I love how these images are great for creating collage type cards. So let me show you how I made this one. I'm going to bring in some scrap paper because there is one thing I can tell you about this technique. It is not a clean technique. In fact, these are my hands after doing very little. You should have seen them yesterday. So I'm going to start with, actually, let me make sure I'm starting with the right piece of paper, the smaller one. I'm going to start with a piece of just Whisper White cardstock. And I will take my tape, and I've been using several pieces for a little while now. So what I did with them is, I'm just opening up my ink pads. What I did with them was mark them with a Sharpie. I need one more so that I knew which one was which so I wouldn't mix them up. So let me show you what I did. I'm going to take this one, which I have marked as Soft Sky, and you just want it to be a little longer than the ink pad it is. So this is, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 inches long. Anyway, I'm just going to touch it on the pad, lightly touch. I'm not pressing hard at all, and pick it up. And then I will place it on my cardstock and just lightly touch and pick it up. And I get a nice light look. If you want a darker look, I'll just set that back down and I'll press a little harder. You don't want to press too hard because you can totally rip your cardstock, and ask me how I know. All right, I will do the next one. This is Pool Party. Again, I'm just lightly touching my ink pad and putting it on my cardstock. All right, and what I love about it is that no two are ever exactly the same, and you get a different look depending on what you do with it in terms of the amount of pressure, the length, and all of that good stuff. Okay, so there we have it. And I'm kind of laughing because there's big like squiggles on here. I've had these tapes out for a couple of days, and so I know they're attracting dust and lint and whatnot. But there is my background for my card, which I love the look of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and take and add some stamping to this. So to do that, I'm going to open up one more ink pad. I'm going to use, so I have Sky, Pool Party, Marina Mist. I'm going to add a darker blue to stamp with, and this is Island Indigo. So I'm going to get one good stamping, and then without re-inking, I'm just going to pick it up and stamp it a couple of more times to just sort of fill in that area. That looks good. Then I'm going to take my fish and stamp it in black archival ink. I like it because it's a nice, solid, strong black color. And that looks good as well. And then I also have the little emblem, or whatever you want to call that. It kind of looks like a postage return cancellation or whatever type stamp. So I'll just stamp that on there as well. And I did that in Island Indigo ink as well. Then I'm also going to take, in the set, there's kind of some cool writing. I'm going to take that, and I'm doing that in the same color as the Marina Mist, and just stamping it on there a little light to just add a little bit of interest. And I'm going to do just a touch up here. I hope that doesn't ruin it. No, it looks pretty good. So that kind of really builds my collage-y look. Okay, now I thought this was a little too abrupt on the edges, so I went ahead and sponged those edges with some Soft Sky ink, which I will do for you. And that is pretty easy. And it just kind of takes the stark white edges away, which I think helps the card look a little better. Now, if you really wanted to, you could even sponge this corner with a little darker color like Marina Mist or even Island Indigo to kind of blend in with that coral look. Just depending on, you know, what your personal preference is. So I think the sponging definitely helps. Okay, I'm next going to adhere that to a layer of Marina Mist cardstock. I'm having a hard time grabbing the piece. And then I'll use my fast fuse to adhere this. And then finally, I'm going to, actually I probably should have, well, it doesn't matter. On here I popped up my white layer, but I can just pop up the Marina layer. It's no big deal. Then I'm going to use Happy Birthday. This is from Guy Greetings. I love this birthday because it's just a nice masculine birthday. It's not foofy and curly and girly. So I just stamped it in Island Indigo, but I think I want it, I can't remember what my sample is. Maybe it is Island Indigo. Probably. It'll stand out better. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that out. Here is where you need to stick your butt out so you can make sure you're stamping it straight. Look at that. And yes, my butt was out. Then I'm going to cut the flag end using my hexagon punch. And this punch is also retiring, which is a bummer because look at that. It's so good at that. I also use the banner punch to do that, which is also retiring as well. I use this banner punch more than almost anything. Both of these do this, but this one is too skinny right here to cut that flag, so that's when I use this for bigger pieces. At any rate, I will take and adhere this to my card after I add a little bit of white baker's twine. So I'm just going to wrap this around twice. Now I have a tip for you if you're using baker's twine and you're trying to figure out how much you need. I'm going to tie the knot right over here. So I'm going to leave the end go to basically the edge of my card. I'm going to go around twice. And then the other end I'm going to cut at this end of my card. And then I will have enough to tie the knot and a little extra just to straighten everything out. So that's a way to help you measure. The other thing is I typically tie these things off of the roll. By the way, I want to tie this underneath where my little greeting flag is going to go. So if I wanted to tie it in a bow though, I would have enough here, which is nice. Should this be on a card where a bow was warranted, but I don't think boys like bows that much, so we'll just hide it underneath. Okay, so I'm going to place this right over the top using some dimensionals because they will kind of tack down the flag as well as hold the baker's twine in place. Now, I love this card, and you can certainly do a multitude of different things with just like 3 or 4 of these different colored stripes. You know, do them in green for scenery, do them in other colors for, you know, like a sunset or what have you. Lots of different options for that. But what I decided to do was take it another step further to make a really cool background. So let me show you how I did that. Let me switch out my pads. I'll be right back. Okay, I wanted to create a really striking background that I could stamp on top of, and I think this really fits the bill. So I'm using a spectrum of colors of pink, shades of pink, and I'll show you how I created this, and then some other samples. Now, one of the other things I did was I used some wider tape. This is probably 2 inches, and so it's definitely bigger. Also that blue tape. Then I noticed as I got into bigger or the darker, brighter, more vibrant colors, I also switched to washi tape that was skinnier than the masking tape I had. It's also low tack, and so it worked brilliantly. Now I'm going to take and do my pink pirouette and Blushing Bride, the 2 lightest colors on this wider tape, because the wider the tape it is, I think the better the coverage, of course, that you get, and the lighter the color, you want to cover more. And then the darker colors, you want less coverage. So I'll just do one more like this. Notice I'm doing it in all different directions to just cover the background. So then I'll switch to my next color, which is Blushing Bride. So I started with Pink Pirouette, now we're doing Blushing Bride. Same technique, I'm just touching lightly on the ink pad, transferring the ink to my cardstock. And as you can see, I get great coverage over the whole thing. Now I'm going to pick it up into a much richer color, in this case Calypso Coral. See, I write on each of them. That way I can keep using them. I wouldn't suggest keeping these over a long period of time just because they'll get, like I said, they'll get sticky with lint, and then you'll transfer that lint to your ink pad, which you don't want to do. So I've had these out yesterday and today, and then I think I'll probably throw them in the trash also because, like I said, I have ink everywhere. Okay, so I've got Calypso Coral kind of spread out. We want to leave a little space so that we can really see all those other colors. Next up is Watermelon Wonder. And I love the spectrum of color and the look that I'm getting on my paper because it's just so pretty. And then I will switch to red. And remember, with each darker color, it really gets vibrant on your card, so you don't want to do tons because you want all those different colors to really show through, including your original pink, light pink colors. So this is Real Red, which I like the look of this on here. It turned out fantastic. And then finally, I'm going to end with Rose Red. And again, I just can't tell you how much I love the look of these colors. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so fun to play with the color combinations. In fact, yesterday, as I was prepping these cards, I kind of had to stop myself because I just kept going. And I think one more and we'll call it good. We'll do that one right there. So look at that fun background. Now to finish this card up, all that I did was I inked up my large thank you. This is from, oh dear, I can't remember what the name of the set is. It has something to do with thank you in it. It's getting discontinued, but it's a great set. It's got the big thank you. And then of course I did my spritzing with the black all over the back to kind of add it up. I mounted it to a layer of black cardstock and put it on a rose red card. So I think it looks great, but as I can show you, I'm really inky. Anyway, I have a bunch of other cards to show you. I got to carefully touch this one so I don't ruin it. The background here is the watercolor wash, but the flowers were both done with the same style of background. In fact, I have the little pieces. Here's several backgrounds I've done. You can see lots of fun different looks, but these are the ones I did my flower cards with. Just layered up the colors and then stamped the flowers and added them to the card. I did the watercolor wash background so that it wouldn't be too overpowering. And then here is another card I made plaid for a Father's Day card. I think this turned out fantastic. All of these I will have pictures on my blog so you can take a closer look at them, as well as the supplies that I've used. And if you are a VIP, guess what? There's going to be more on my VIP page. I've got another video for you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you're interested in becoming a VIP, I have a fantastic VIP program. All you have to do to become a member is place an order through my online store, and you can see a link to my blog and online store in the description of this video. And I would love to welcome you into the Creativity Cave VIP Rewards program. We do great fun things on our Facebook page, and I just love sharing great ideas with you. Thank you so much for watching today. Please share this video with your favorite people online, and thank you so much for your support. It helps me bring fabulous videos to you every week. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye. Happy stamping.